Three little words, Terry Begg.
A dream is a wish your heart makes. Do you know what Disney character sang that song? It was Cinderella. As you can see and hear, Cinderella and I don't have a lot in common. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests. Do you dream? Three little words. Do you dream? More importantly, do you act on your dreams? As far back as I can remember, I've been a dreamer. When I was a kid, my friends talked about becoming doctors or actors or pitching for the Cleveland Indians. Me, I dreamed of being a painter. I wanted to paint. I wanted to be the world's greatest house painter. I started my business while I was still in high school. And there I met the love of my life, Lisa. She was just 19, and I was 21 when we decided to do what all young, jobless dreamers do in the middle of a recession. Yep, we got married. There we walked arm in arm out of the church that day, into our happily ever after, unemployed. You know, for some strange reason, my in-laws just never saw the humor. Lisa bought into my dream. Hitch your wagon to my star because I'm going to be a big deal. I promised. She trusted me. But 2 months later, I found myself on the living room floor of our tiny apartment. The only light in the room from the Christmas tree. Picture this. It was December 1980. Apartment living room. The sound of Pat Benatar's voice coming from a hand-me-down console stereo the size of a small couch. The twinkling lights, the smell of fresh-cut pine, and me kneeling on the living room floor in front of a pile of pennies, counting them out one at a time, putting them into penny rolls. If you had been there, you could have felt my shame. That pile of pennies represented all the money I had in the world to buy my wife a gift that first Christmas. The guilt was almost unbearable because she shared in my misery. Hitch your wagon to my star. What a cruel joke. That evening, she found my hiding place, my stash of penny rolls. I had to come clean. I said, honey, I just don't get it. I go to church. I try to be a good person. Why would God just turn his back on me? Why won't he help me make my business work? What she said to me changed my life forever. Terry, I don't think that's how it works. If you ask, God will put you on the right path. He'll put you in front of the right mountain, but you have to do the climbing. Okay. What do you think she meant? I needed to take action? Climb that mountain? 3 little words. Make that climb? I responded with 3 little words to her. What's that mean? Have you ever had that aha moment? That flash of blinding clarity when everything suddenly makes sense? That moment when you just get it. I got mine. 8 years later. All it took was just 3 little words from Lisa. 3 little words. Terry, I'm pregnant. That was 3 big words. I knew in an instant that from that day forward, my life was never going to be the same again. In a good way. I was ready to climb that mountain. Those 3 little words, they inspired me to change, to reinvent myself, to take control of my business, my future. I stopped thinking of my customers as just a paycheck, and I started treating them like my friends. I learned to communicate trust. Over the next 13 months later, my son Andrew was born. And for as long as I live, I'll never forget spending countless hours just watching him sleep. 13 months later, my daughter was born. And it was the two of them I'd watch together. Every night listening to their lullaby tape. One song in particular sticks out. The first one on the tape. A dream is just a wish your heart makes. Only now it came from a cassette player about this big. Seems like yesterday. Andrew's 23 now. Whitney, 22. They're both college graduates with brilliant futures ahead of them. I'm the luckiest dad on the planet. They're my motivation. Now when I think back to that frosty December evening in 1980, when I kept my entire Christmas fund in a paint can, it's now clear to me that, good or bad, everything happens for a reason. That's why I keep this roll of pennies, where I can see it every day. It reminds me that just dreaming alone isn't enough. Sure, there's a time for dreaming. That's where it all begins. So dream big dreams. It doesn't matter how big your mountain is. If you have within you the passion and the courage to make that climb. I want to leave you with the final three little words. But which three? Dream big dreams. Find your motivation. Terry, I'm pregnant. Probably not that. Here we go. Live your dreams. Mr. Contest Chair.